Know what? I always thought cloves were just a spice for pickling in autumn tea. Until I came across some research that completely changed my perspective. So I decided to run an experiment. Just 7 days, just 2 cloves a day, not in tea, not as drops, just chewing them plain. And what started happening to me after just a couple of days shocked even me. A guy who's tried a ton of detoxes and supplements. Spoilers? You got it. That unpleasant bad breath, the one even the strongest mouthwashes couldn't handle, vanished without a trace. My digestion sorted itself out like it hadn't in years. And a very specific, delicate discomfort I'd learned to live with month after month disappeared. Why isn't this common knowledge? Why do doctors often prescribe pills instead of suggesting you check your own spice rack? I'm going to break it all down for you. Get ready for some truth that'll blow your mind. Your body's silent distress signals. Let's be real. Know that feeling of waking up already tired? When your stomach bloats like a balloon after eating, day in and day out? Or that stale breath that comes back an hour after brushing? We blame stress, bad environment, must have eaten something wrong. But actually, these are silent SOS signals from your body. It's literally screaming that it's overloaded with toxins, that pathogenic bacteria and fungi have set up shop inside, causing low-grade inflammation. And what do? We don't treat the cause, we mask the symptoms. Bad breath, gum, bloating, a pill, tired, a cup of coffee, and if it gets worse, we run to the doctor for antibiotics that scorch everything, the bad bacteria and the good. But the solution can be much simpler, cheaper, and more natural. It's hiding in your own spice rack. It's the ordinary clove, the science behind the magic, eugenol. So what's so magical about this little dried bud? The secret is in its main component, eugenol. This is a powerful natural compound that gives cloves their signature pungent taste and aroma. And it's eugenol that turns cloves into a natural antibiotic and antifungal. Simply put, it kills bacteria and fungi, and it does it precisely, unlike pharmaceutical tablets. Let's break it down. First, it disinfects. Entering the oral cavity, eugenol destroys the bacteria that cause cavities, gum inflammation, and that treacherous bad breath. It even acts as a mild anesthetic. Ever wonder why they suggest chewing a clove for a toothache? Because it genuinely relieves pain. Second, it goes lower, into the digestive system. Here, cloves stimulate the production of digestive enzymes, reduce bloating and gas. They create an environment where parasites and pathogenic microorganisms, including the infamous Candida, can't survive. Third, and this is especially important, cloves are a natural antispasmodic. They gently relax smooth muscle, which helps relieve menstrual cramps and abdominal spasms. Furthermore, research shows that cloves can increase cells' sensitivity to insulin, which helps stabilize blood sugar levels and curb sugar cravings. Imagine that, one modest clove, and so much benefit. My personal 7-day transformation log. Now for the most interesting part, my personal experiment. I kept a diary and recorded all the changes day by day. Here's what happened. And you know what's really motivating? Seeing our community grow through these experiments. We're actually working toward our first big milestone. 1,000 subscribers this month. If you're finding this journey useful, I'd really appreciate your support. Just hit that subscribe button and like this video. It helps more people discover these natural health solutions. Now let me walk you through my daily experience. Day 1, morning. Chewed 2 cloves. The sensation, specific, a bit pungent, a slight numbness in the mouth like after menthol. But within a couple of hours, I caught myself thinking my breath was incredibly fresh. And it stayed that way all evening. Day 2 to 3. The most noticeable change, digestion. After eating, there was no usual feeling of heaviness and bloating. My stomach was flat and calm. Sorry for the detail, but my bowel movements became regular, like clockwork. Day 4. Woke up with an unusually clear head. No usual morning grogginess, no slight headache. A feeling that my body was finally resting at night, not fighting something. Day 5. Noticed that the white coating on my tongue, which I'd had for years, was almost gone. My breath remained fresh all day, even after coffee. Day 6. And here's that specific moment. My partner's period was approaching, and usually a week before, lower abdominal pain and irritability would appear. This time, nothing. No pain, no discomfort. For us, this was the most shocking result. Day 7. Overall sensation. Lightness and cleanliness from within. And another bonus, I stopped constantly craving sweets. It became easier to say no to cookies. My experiment was a complete success. How to take it correctly. Avoiding harm. To replicate my results, it's crucial to do it right. Otherwise, you might not get the effect or could even cause harm. So, in the morning, on an empty stomach, take 2 high-quality fragrant cloves, put them in your mouth and start chewing slowly and thoroughly. Don't swallow immediately. Chew for a minute or two so the eugenol is released and starts working right in your oral cavity. Then swallow. You can wash it down with a glass of warm water with lemon to enhance the effect. The course is exactly 7 days. Then a mandatory break of 1 to 2 weeks so your body doesn't get used to it. If chewing them plain is too pungent for you, you can grind the cloves in a coffee grinder and mix a teaspoon of the powder with honey. This is a particularly good option for women dealing with PMS or headaches. You can also brew it in tea, but remember, heat treatment reduces some of the beneficial properties, so the effect will be milder. Powerful recipes. Taking it to the next level. Sure, chewing cloves is effective, but if you want targeted action, meaning to solve a specific problem, here are 3 proven recipes where cloves play a key role. Recipe 1. Triple protection against parasites and fungus. This is a well-known and potent blend used in systemic parasite cleansing programs. Cloves are indispensable here because they destroy not only adult parasites but also their eggs. Ingredients, all powdered. Cloves, 1 part. Wormwood, 1 part. Tansy or green walnut hull, 1 part. You can start with just wormwood and cloves in equal parts. Preparation: grind all components in a coffee grinder to a very fine powder. Store in a dark glass jar with a tight lid. How to take? Very important. Start with small doses. On the first day, a pinch of powder on the tip of a knife. 30 minutes before meals, wash down with a large glass of water. Gradually over a week, increase the dose to 1 teaspoon. Course, 2 weeks, then a break of at least 2 to 3 months. This recipe requires caution and prior consultation with a doctor if you have chronic conditions. Recipe 2. Warming balm for immunity and joints. This is a recipe for external use. It's great for rubbing on the chest and back for colds, and for massaging sore joints with arthritis and osteochondrosis. The eugenol in cloves provides deep warmth and relieves pain. Ingredients: ground cloves, 2 tablespoons, crushed dried ginger, 1 tablespoon, ground cinnamon, 1 tablespoon, carrier oil, olive, coconut, almond, 1/2 cup, beeswax, optional for thickness. About 20 grams. Preparation: mix the spices with the oil in a glass container and let it infuse in a dark, warm place for 2 to 3 days. Then heat the mixture in a double boiler for 30 to 60 minutes. If you want a thick balm, add grated beeswax and stir until dissolved. Strain the mixture through cheesecloth and pour into a clean jar. How to use: rub into the chest, back, or sore joints 1 to 2 times a day. Do not use on damaged skin or if you have severe allergies. Test on a small area of skin before first use. When cloves become medicine. So for what specific issues can cloves be your helper? It's not a panacea, but it's powerful support for the body with suspected parasites, especially combined with other bitter herbs like wormwood and green walnut hull. Oral or intestinal candidiasis, thrush. Frequent throat inflammations, stomatitis, bleeding gums. menstrual cycle irregularities, painful periods, PMS. Headaches often related to poor digestion or bile stagnation. And of course, chronic fatigue syndrome, when your brain feels foggy. Stop. Signal. Who should avoid cloves? But like any potent remedy, cloves have strict contraindications. Ignoring them is not an option. Cloves are strictly forbidden for pregnant and breastfeeding women without direct doctor's approval. It tones smooth muscle and can trigger a miscarriage. It's prohibited for those with stomach ulcers, gastritis with high acidity, erosions, and any acute inflammations of the GI tract. The pungent juice will only make it worse. Do not give to children under 5. And most importantly, if you are taking blood-thinning medication anticoagulants, avoid this practice. Cloves have a similar effect and can enhance it, which is dangerous due to the risk of bleeding. The verdict on the week that changed everything. Honestly, I started this experiment without much hope, just another folk remedy, I thought, but the result genuinely, deeply surprised me. Now, a small jar of cloves always sits in my bag. It's my natural breath freshener, quick helper for stomach heaviness, and just a building block for my health foundation. I'm not spending money on expensive breath sprays, laxative teas, or tons of probiotics. Cloves work gently, yet deeply, at the level of the problem's cause. And that's genius. Hey, by the way, I see that most viewers are watching this channel without subscribing. If you found this video useful, just hit the like button. That's the best thanks for my research. And if you don't want to miss more honest experiments, subscribe. There are plenty of proven health recipes ahead that actually work. Have you ever tried cloves not as a spice, but as medicine? If yes, share your experience in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious if you had similar results. If you're just planning to try it, write down your goal. And if you're interested in digging deeper, learning about powerful recipes against parasites, viruses, and fungus based on cloves and other spices, then be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell. There will be many more shocking truths and useful experiments.